So did you know that you can download a sample of Ds260? If you did not know, I'm here to tell you that you can download a form of Ds260. Now, this one is for those people who have won the DV 2025, or maybe if you win DV lottery. This form is very, very important because if you fill in the wrong information, then it might put you in a difficult position. So if you are that person who does not know how to fill this form, or you would like to know more about this form, then I think this is the video for you. So you might want to stick until the end. My name is Kelvin Adonis. Welcome. And if you have not subscribed, kindly consider subscribing, and every time we post a video, be sure you will receive a notification. You can also help us to reach more people by liking this video. Remember, if you have any question, you can ask me on the comment section. Now, if you won DV lottery, good for you and congratulations. And there are some people who do not know how to check for their result, or whether they were selected or they were not selected. There are some people who just do not know. So that is the first place where we are going to begin, and let's go. So for those of you who do not know how to check whether you are selected or not, this is where you check whether you are selected. You will go, first of all, the dvprogram.state. I want you to listen to me carefully. dvprogram.state. This is the original website. This is where you can get all the information, or this is where you will go to check where your information. So when you come to dvprogram.state.gov, you come to this place, or this page here called Electronic Diversity Visa, and then you will come and click this button that asks you to check your status. And when you click on it, it will take you to a page that asks you whether you want to, or it gives you some few information, and it will also ask you whether you want to continue or not. So my internet is a bit slow, but yes, it is still working okay. So let's continue and see. Now, when you click on continue, it will take you to a page that will require your information. Remember, the confirmation number you were given when you first submitted your entry. So this is where you will fill in your confirmation number, then your last name, your year of birth, or then you go through this authentication process. I believe this is not a difficult thing to fill. When you finish filling this, you will get notification, or you will be informed whether you are selected or not. Now, let me say this, that now that we have already known, or now that we know how to check our status, you are selected, or maybe you are not selected. If you are not selected, there is always a next time. But if you are selected, you need to fill a form that is very crucial or very important in this process. Remember, it is a process. Being selected does not mean now everything is over. No, you will still need to go through some other processes, and that's why I am here. Now, the first process you will need to do is to fill in your Ds260. Now, I do not know whether these days they are asking you to submit your document to the KCC, but if you come to this site here, again, travel.state.gov, this is where it contains all the information you need, and we are on the DV program. Remember that you have to go to immigrate, then you click on the diversity visa, and then you come to this page here where it just gives you all the steps that you need to apply for a green card or a DV lottery. Now, on step number 5, you can see here is submitting your entry, going through the process. Then if you are selected, you need to confirm. Now, this confirming, these days they are not asking you to send your these days they are not asking you to send those documents to the KCC, but if they ask you, then they will direct you, or they will give you further instruction. But when you are selected these days, what happens is you are asked to submit your DS260. When you submit your DS260, then there is a period that you have to wait, of course. But before we get to the period that you have to wait, we have to know what we need to have for us to fill the DS260. Now, I will come back to this page later, but for now, we need to know something. What do you need to fill that form that we have said that you will need to fill? That the form, remember we have said it is the form DS260, remember? So what will you need to fill in the form DS260? That is what we are going to get into. Now, for you to fill in the form DS260, you will need to log in. You will also need your case number. Remember, this case number is the first number they give you when you submit your entry. That is the case number. That paper contains all the details that you gave them during that time. So you will need your case number. You will need to log in your case number, your mailing address, your email, your host address. This host address is the address of your host. Remember, your host is the person who is going to be accommodating you in the United States, who will be showing you around. Yes, that is the person. So you will need his or her address, and then you will also need a traveling document. In this case, traveling document is a passport. Then you will need to have the details of the people accompanying you. Now, this is one is for these details of the people accompanying you. Let's say you have a family, you are going to travel with your family, so you will need their details, of course. Now, this is to fill the DS260. Now, if you check on this case number that I have said that this is an example of a case number. This is not a real case number. This is just a case number that I have formulated. But if you look at it, you can see here that I have underlined the zeros. Remember, I have underlined the zeros. Now, why have I underlined those zeros? There is a reason why I have underlined those zeros. Remember, that is an example of our case number. And this case number, this example of our case number, it contains some zeros. That case number, remember, you will need it to fill the DS260. There is a reason as to why I have underlined it, or I have underlined the zeros. Now, the reason as to why I have underlined those zero is because of this reason. Now, when we come back to the page I told you that we will come back, this is what they are telling you when you submit your alien visa, because when you win the DV lottery, you must fill that form called DS260. That is a must. So now here they are telling you this, that while you sign in and submit page on the DS260, you will need to re-enter your DV case without the zeros. I am not the one saying these things, but that is the instruction they have given you on their site. They have tell you when you are signing into that page, when you are about to fill that DS260, you will need to re-enter the DV case number without the zeros. Why? If the case number is this number with these zeros that I told you as I showed you before, you will need to omit those zeros, and then remember, write those digits that are ahead of it. Remember, remove the zeros and those digits. This is just an example also that I have given you. This is how it should look like. Remember, entering the full case number with zeros will generate a validation error. So have you seen, guys, the reason as to why? So I believe now you have seen the reason as to why I did what I did. So on our case number, remember I told you it is just an example of a case number that I was giving you. Now, if you look at this case number here, you can see this zero. So these are the zeros that they are saying that you should omit. So when we omit these zeros, this is how it should look like. So, you see? So the reason as to why they are saying this is because it will give you a validation error. It will tell you that you have an error, so you have to omit them. I just hope that we are clear on that. And if you have any questions, guys, make sure that you ask me. If you have any question and you have not understand anything, just ask me on the comment section. I will be ready to help you with no charges. Now, filling now the DS260. Let's say, for example, now you know all these things, yeah? Filling in the DS260 now. Remember, I told you, if you do not know anything about DS260, make sure that you take your time. Take your time before filling the DS260. DS260 is very important. So now, we have seen what we need to fill in the DS260. You should download a form, or you should have a copy of this form so that you can go through it before initially filling in your form, your official form. All right, guys? So let me show you where you will download this form. Let me show you guys where you will download this form. And now, before we have already touched on this site. Let's now go to it. This is where you will come to your Google, and then you just Google a sample of DS260, and then you will see this travel.state.gov. The form itself, it is in a PDF form. Then you will click on here, and then this is what you will get. You will get a form that actually looks like this. Let me show you guys. So this is the form that you will get when you download what I have just shown you guys. Now this form is very long, very, very long. And the reason as to why this form is long, it's because it contains the option. It just shows you how you will fill it. If you say yes, like for example here, if you come and fill this page and you say, like for example, let me just show you what I mean by saying that. If you say yes, there is a place where they are giving you an option to say yes or no. Like you see, for example, there is a place where you say yes or no, and when you say yes or no, they will prompt you to give them more information, guys. So I told you guys we will be looking at this form in details, and perhaps I can see that the video is, I don't want to make this video very long, but let me just show you some of these things. Now, I'm not going to be tackling all the pages that it has, but I'm going to be looking at specific pages. And the first page that I want us to look at is this page here, page number 11. Remember, this is on the form that we have downloaded, and this is where you give your personal information about yourself. Now, information about yourself, just giving your names, your full names, and if you have any name in your local language, you just write your names in local language. If you don't have, in most cases people don't have this native whatever, you just write does not apply, and you come in here, you fill in okay, have you ever used other names? If you have ever used other name, you need to tell them yes or no. Now, this question is tricky because there are some people who change their names legally. Like for example, Overstar, that Kanye West changed his name legally, and now we know him as Ye, like YE. So but I don't believe many of you have ever used other names of your. That means if you have ever used other names legally, have you ever used other names, like you went to court, you went through the legal process and you registered yourself under other names? So that is what they're asking here. And then your sex, whether you are a male or a female, your current marital status, whether you're married or not. Remember that you have to tell them the truth, because if you don't tell them the truth, they will get onto you. Your date of birth, city of birth, and state of province. Now, something that I would like to say, in some of our countries, especially if you are from Africa, we don't have this state. Some of our countries don't have this state. If your country does not have state or province, this is where you just write does not apply. Your country of birth, you are Nigerian, Kenyan, Ugandan, that is where you fill in. And remember guys, when you fill in the information, you click on this button that says save. If you do not save, let me tell you something guys, let me touch on this. You need, when you fill in those information, you need to save, because if you do not save, if like for example your computer runs out of power or something happens, and or maybe you stay for so long without filling that form, remember it automatically logs you out. It just logs you out. And if you have not saved that information, that means when you go back again and you log in again, you will need to start from step 0. So it is important to save. When you save, if anything happens, next time you go to that site, you will start from where you left. I hope we are understanding what I mean. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying now. This video is very long. Actually, I did not want it to be this long, but let me just stop there. I will make part 2 of this video. If you have any question, make sure that you are asking me and I will be ready to answer you. Once again, if you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe, and if you have any question, ask me. Help us to reach more people by liking this video, and let me see you on the next one.